Okay, so we talked about exponential growth. The other kind of exponential function that we'll be dealing with is exponential decay. So while exponential growth you can kind of think of as repeated multiplication by a growth factor, exponential decay is repeated multiplication by a decay factor. So in this situation, you have purchased a new automobile for $21,000. You find out that it is expected to depreciate by 15% per year. So since this is depreciation, that's what tells us that we're going to be looking at decay factors. So remember, to find a decay factor, I take 100%, and then I'm going to subtract that percent decrease. So my car is losing 15% of its value every year, and now that is going to equal, what, 85%. And now I'm going to convert that to a decimal and get 0.85. So this is my decay factor. So now I'm going to set up a function for the value of my car. The value of my car after t years. So I'm going to say let v be the value of my car after t years. So now what's happening is, if you think back to that definition of an exponential function, I have a starting value. In this case, my starting value is 21,000. And now every year, I'm going to take whatever it was the previous year and multiply that by my decay factor. So I'm going to do this. And then that's going to get raised to the power of t, because for each year, I'm going to figure out, for each year, that's one more decay factor that I'm going to multiply on here. So now what we're going to do is look at the value of this car after 5 years. So I'm going to take my function, which takes the value, my starting value, times my decay factor. And then if I'm doing this for 5 years, my input is going to be 5. And so that means 0.85 is going to be raised to the 5th power. Now all I'm going to do is put this in my calculator, and you have to be careful when you do this in your calculator. I'm going to put 21,000 times 0.85 to the power of 5. So make sure that that exponent just goes to the decay factor. So that, according to my calculator, is this. So I get $9,317.81. And so with a word problem, it's always a good idea to put this as a sentence. So I would say, after 5 years, my car is worth $9,317.81. Okay, that's it for that video. Let me know if you have any questions.